All right, hey, welcome to Facebook Live Ask Admissions. My name is Jordan Stevenson. I am the Director of Student Recruitment. We're in a little different location today, so there's some updates going on in our previous studio. But hopefully you like our new digs, and more importantly, hopefully you like our special guests.
What's going on, y'all? My name's Keani Greer. So if you guys are wondering who I am, I'm an admissions counselor. I serve our STEM population down at the Marietta campus. So if you got anything STEM questions, I'm your guy, and also anything Marietta campus, I'm your guy as well.
Hey guys, my name is Caroline Edwards. I am our freshman in-house counselor. So any student type kind of in that range, non-traditional, veterans, I can take some transfer questions, just let me know.
Awesome, and we have some really cool goofy owls with us today. So our awesome broadcast team found this really cool owl. And so we thought we need to bring this Sturgis on with us today. And then there's a little cartoony one that's down over on the other side. But yeah, you're used to, maybe you've seen in my Instagram lives, the stuffed owl that we've got over in the Convocation Center. So we've got a little different owl with us today. So what is today about? Well, we are here to answer your admissions questions. We're here to talk about the university in general, anything that you need. Today is a special day, though.
Indeed.
It is June the 1st. What does that mean?
That's deadline day.
Deadline day. So it's almost like voting day, but you
Worse
submit, but
deadlines.
not. Yeah, but it's so today is a big day for admissions for Kennesaw State University. So a little bit of news from the nest. Okay, June 1st is our deadline for the summer, all populations. Doesn't matter your student type. Today is the deadline to apply, so do not delay. The application will stay open through midnight, but after that, I can't guarantee. I can't tell you if it's going to close at 5 a.m. tomorrow, 6 a.m. tomorrow. So if you are looking to apply, or your friend down the street said, hey, you know what, I think I should go to Kennesaw State just like you. Whatever is happening in these conversations, right? You need to apply today. It's the last day to apply for the summer. It's the last day for first-year students to apply for fall 2020. So the big semester coming up, fall 2020. Right now, we're sitting on record applications, record number of admitted students. We're really excited for fall. I think we all need some positive things going on in our lives, right? And so people are looking forward to, expectant for fall semester. And we've got a lot of plans going on for fall as well. But today is the day to apply if you're a first-year student. That's freshmen and transfer freshmen, so students that are just now graduating from high school, have dual enrollment credit, but less than 30 credit hours, or you recently graduated from high school and you have less than 30 credit hours, that you're a transfer freshman. So June 1st, big deadline for you as well. And then that is just for fall 2020, it's an application deadline. So you apply by today, by the end of today, and then you have until June the 15th to submit your supporting documentation. That's things like high school transcript or your college transcript if you have dual enrollment credit or you're still a new college student. So those are the things that we need to be able to make an admissions decision on you for fall 2020. Remember, we're not looking at SAT or ACT scores right now, so that's a huge benefit to you. It's one less thing you have to send in. So right now, we just need your application and we need your transcripts to be able to consider you for admission. Other deadlines I want to make you aware of. June the 12th is our deadline for transfer students, for non-traditional students, all other populations other than dual enrollment, because that deadline passed a long time ago, for fall 2020. So June the 12th. If you're a transfer student out there and you're somewhere else, I'm not going to drop a bunch of names, right? But you're at another institution and you want to come home. You want to be at KSU, or you're at one of our local schools and KSU is your dream all along. You want to get here. You've got until June the 12th to apply. And then your deadline to turn in all of your supporting documentation, that's all of your college transcripts. And what I like to say, we need every transcript from every institution you've ever attended since high school. Mm-hmm. That's the way to think about it. I've seen as many as 12 transcripts, 12 different institutions. It's a lot, right? Hopefully you're not in that situation. So more often than not, we're just looking for one or two different college transcripts. So you need to get those things to us by June the 26th. June the 26th is our deadline for documents for transfers and adult learners, all other student populations for fall 2020. So make sure you're doing those things. Okay, switching gears a little bit. If you're out there and you have not submitted your Fafsa for this next school year, Fafsa is an application that is for a full academic year, starts for the fall and goes all the way through the summer of the following year. So for instance, you fill out your Fafsa now, and it's for fall 2020, spring 2021, and summer 2021. Then you would do your Fafsa again, and hopefully you do it much earlier than doing it right now, right? But if you've yet to do it for whatever reason, right, because we've all had a lot of things going on in our lives,
Right.
then now is the time to do it. Matter of fact, I told this story last week. I had to go in and do something for my daughter's Fafsa, and it took me all of 10 minutes to do it. Yes, it's cumbersome in your mind, but once you get into it and you actually start the application or you're in there doing whatever you need to change, it's a quick process. So just do it. Like
Correct.
Nike got it right. That's why that works so well. Just do it. Okay. So definitely file your Fafsa. This is for fall 2020 all the way through summer 2021. Another thing I want to tell you about, we talk about this a whole lot. We have a brand new, incredible virtual tour website. So if you've yet to be on it now, I know these two folks have been on it, and it is phenomenal. And I said this last week. I do this for a living, so I have to go out there and look at what other schools are doing. Right? I'm interested in it. I love it. So we've looked at all across the country at different institutions. And I promise you, our virtual tour is the best. I want you to go out there and experience it and tell me if I'm right, okay? So when we have another Facebook Live, you can say, hey, Jordan was right, or no, Jordan's totally wrong. I don't, right, whatever it is, I want to hear from you because I want to know that you actually went out there and did it. And there's a really cool button that's at the upper right-hand corner. I can't remember exactly what it says, but it's something like, did you enjoy this? It's like something like that. And you get to click on it. So that's how we're going to know you enjoyed it. If not, you're going to leave the site. You're not going to enjoy it. You're not going to click the button. But go check it out. I promise you're going to like it. And you're going to get to see the things on campus right now as we're not having physical campus tours. You're going to get to see the things on campus that you really want to see, get some information about them, see other cool things that are happening at KSU, and then be able to make an informed decision. Is this the right school for you? Okay, so definitely check out that. We also have some information sessions out there if you're just trying to learn more about Kennesaw State, say for spring 2021. We were talking before this, before the Facebook Live actually started, that our spring 2021 application opened March the 1st. So it's been open now for almost, what is it, March, April, May, 3 months. It's been open for 3 months. Applications for spring 2021 we know are going to pick up and take off. So if you're thinking about the future, fall's not your game, you're looking at spring 2021, summer 2021, then one, you can go ahead and apply for spring 2021. But you need to go ahead and take this virtual tour. That way you can see, are we the right institution for you?
Take that virtual tour.
That's right.
That virtual tour is crazy, man. That thing had me geared up to go back to school, and I graduated already. That thing is nice.
Right. Thank you. And then one last thing I want to share. Actually two last things, sorry. But if we're now in orientation season. So we just had our 2 orientations last week. Students, the feedback overall was fantastic from the orientation sessions. What's so nice is we're able to make changes on a dime when we need to now in this virtual environment. So our orientation group is working extremely hard to make this the best possible virtual experience for you and for your family. So sign up for orientation. If you haven't signed up for orientation, it's as easy as going to the orientation website, orientation.kennesaw.edu. We'll drop the link here in Facebook Live. But if you want to learn more, ask more questions, talk to people in orientation, they have their own Facebook Lives. If you go to their website, we're going to drop the actual link here in Facebook Live, but you can see all the different dates for orientation lives that will be coming up. Their next one is this Wednesday, June the 3rd. So if you're on Facebook Live here, just go ahead and save that event. It's there in Facebook Live. On the Kennesaw page, you can go ahead and save it, and that way you're ready to go on Wednesday. You'll get a reminder. You get that little bell in the upper right-hand corner of your Facebook, and that'll tell you, hey, it's time for this event. But check that out. That way you can ask any questions you want to ask about orientation specifically. And then there's one thing that I want to address with what's going on in our nation right now, and frankly has been going on for a very long time. Too long of a time, right? And our president had some very candid and I think poignant words to share. So I want to read this statement, and I want to tell you where you can actually find this statement that came from President Whitten. So it's on our Kennesaw State University, the official Instagram page. You can also see it on admissions page, KSU_admissions. We reshared it there, and I think it's timely, right? This is in response to George Floyd, right, and his unfortunate passing, and all of the events that have been happening since. And so President Whitten said, "Many in the KSU family and across America are justifiably angry and hurt by the most recent events unfolding in Georgia, Minnesota, and beyond. I know that I'm not alone at the university in stating unequivocally that there is no room for the existence of or the tolerance for any form of racism. Let us move forward together with a sincere commitment to a constructive dialogue where we listen respectfully with a goal towards real change. Let us move forward with compassion as we recognize that we are collectively responsible for pursuing real change." So if you want to read that statement, it's out there on the Kennesaw University Instagram page, as well as other places. But I think it was just needed to be said, needed to be read, right? Okay.
It's timely.
If you have questions for us, now is the time. We may already have some questions, but we really wanted this session to be about you. And be a chance. We've had a lot of different guests on lately. Hopefully you caught our Army ROTC one last week. That was really cool, really informative. We've had housing on, we've had orientation on, we've had advising on, so definitely go back and check out those. But we just want to be a resource for you. That's what these are all about. So hit us with your questions. Meredith, do we have any questions?
We sure do.
Love it.
All right, as we know, orientation is online currently. How do we know if we are getting our fees back? Do we get all of them back, some of them back? How do we know when we would be refunded, if that is a possibility?
Gotcha. First I want to say orientation has said yes. If you paid for a student orientation the $60 fee, you are due a $20 refund. So now the fee is $40 for students. So you're due that $20, right? I'm really good with math. 60 minus 40, 20, boom,
go.
okay?
Boom.
You
Nailed
get a
it.
$20 bill, but it's not coming to you in the form of cash. You will get that back from orientation, but they're not at a place yet where they've figured out that system. They're working on it. They're working on being able to get you all of those refunds, but I can't give you an exact time. I do think, and I do want to say you should pop in on their orientation live on June the 3rd. That would be a great time to ask them a question. You are going to get the money back. Donald has said publicly, and the last time he was on Facebook Live with me, has said it would be sometime this summer, but he didn't have a specific date at that point in time. Now that's been a couple weeks. Yes, if you paid the parent side, which the parent side was $70 for a parent orientation, and now it's $20, you are due that $50 refund as well, and they will get you that money back. So that's what's going on for orientation fees. Did I miss anything else in that question?
I think you got it.
Okay, perfect. Boom.
Wonderful.
Wow.
All right, so we've got another person on here who is asking that since orientation is online, I want to come to campus and see my residence hall. Is that a possibility?
Yes. So y'all could answer that question too. Sorry, I'm just like, yes.
all good.
Yeah, if you go to ksuhousing.kennesaw.edu, they have some really cool virtual tours of their housing, as well as layouts of all of the different room options, room setups. So they've got a huge section for FAQs. They've got their virtual tours. They've got these layouts with dimensions. So if you're like one of those people, right, that would go into the room, visual but physical. You'd go into the room with your tape measure, or you have one of those moms that would do that to measure the exact dimensions of everything. Then, like my wife carries a tape measure in her purse. I know, because I've had to use it many times. But that's right. You can't do that, but it's on the website. So you can see all the dimensions on the website. Check it out. Also, they have an awesome Instagram page. They're very active on social media. So a lot of info out there from them as well.
Great, and they actually dropped the link too. So Wonderful.
Perfect.
We've got some FAFSA questions.
Ooh, cool.
And
Keanu can answer all of
one
those.
is going to go to the next. So here we go. Do I need to be accepted to Kennesaw to file the FAFSA?
So the answer to that is no. See, the way FAFSA works is you fill it out and you can list a certain number of schools that you want to send your FAFSA to specifically. So I may have applied to Kennesaw State, UGA, North Georgia, but I only decided to attend Kennesaw State. Is my FAFSA dead at the other schools? Technically, yeah, because I'm not going to be attending there. But once we get you accepted into the university, then we're going to file your FAFSA. If you're eligible for any aid and eligible for any loans, scholarships, after we get all your information compiled, we're going to roll through and give you your award letter. So that's basically how it works.
Where would they
Great.
find that award letter?
They'll find that award letter in your AliExpress. So if you're an accepted student and you haven't gone into your AliExpress, what are you doing? I'm messing around, but AliExpress is pivotal to you as a student. It was pivotal to me when I was a student. It's where you register for classes. It's where you see your financial aid. It's where, if you're, trying to get a advising appointment, that's your hub for getting everything done as a student. So if you haven't gotten to your AliExpress, go on to our UITS website. If you're confused about how to log on, how to reset my password, we have a For Students link that you can follow. So you either call or you email. They'll create a case for you, and those people, everybody in UITS is so responsive. They work so quickly to get your IT issues resolved. So they'll help you get everything taken care of extremely fast, so that way you can log in and get into your AliExpress.
Perfect. And by the way, we should have said this early on, but both of you are alumni.
Yes.
So that's awesome. If you would not mind, share with the group, with those on the other side of the lens, which year you graduated in and what you got your degrees in.
Okay, so I graduated in 2017, December 2017. I actually got a Bachelor's of Science in Integrative Studies, so I didn't know exactly what I wanted to do, but I knew I had a lot of interest in a lot of different things. So I combined a few different degrees to build that bachelor's for myself.
And who hired you for your first big girl job?
They did.
Yeah.
So my first big girl job outside of construction was Kennesaw State.
Right.
Nice.
Right. We made a good choice.
I think she made a great choice, honestly.
Yep.
And I graduated in the spring of 2018. Really loved my time as a student. I also played football for the university. I was part of the inaugural football team. So that was a great time, had a blast. But I graduated with my degree in public relations, so talking, words. I majored in words. So it's probably fitting that I'm kind of here right now. Really enjoyed the program. It's one of the best, I feel. Not too many communication schools are gated to where you have to test into the college and then get into it. And the professors in there were phenomenal for me. So I really love my time in the program as an athlete, as a student, period. So I really enjoyed my time as a KSU Owl, and I'm still here. So obviously I don't got no complaints.
And you were a tour guide before, so
Yeah, I was
we really
a tour guide.
appreciated your tour guide time, and now as a professional.
I was a pro at walking backwards and pointing at buildings.
There you go. That's right. And sharing those words,
Oh,
the
yeah.
right words. Yeah. Awesome.
So we had a follow-up question to the financial aid question that Kiani answered. And so, Kiani, if you would like to answer this one as well. So we talked about applying for financial aid, and you do not have to be admitted to the institution, but I could possibly get the Hope Scholarship. Is there a second application I need to also apply to, or does that go through FAFSA?
So that's a really great question. So the answer to that is no. That's totally separate from your financial aid profile. Hope is determined by the Georgia Student Finance Commission. As soon as you graduate, your final grades are sent off. And then what's going to happen is they're going to determine if you're Hope eligible based on certain courses that you've taken while you were in high school. So a person could not get financial aid, but they can get the Hope Scholarship. So that's a pretty interesting spot. So you don't necessarily need the FAFSA to be eligible for Hope.
Great.
answer.
Okay, I have a fun question. So FAFSA, we have all of that, but we have a student life question.
Okay.
Do
Nice.
we know if Greek life will be happening this fall?
And
So
y'all are looking at me.
I'll speak on it a little bit. So from what we've heard as of now, yes, Greek life will be happening in the fall. We have not had any news otherwise, so I would just go to our student activities page. They're going to list everything that we're going to do following the fall semester, how we're going to go about the recruitment process in terms of Greek life, because there is a different process. You actually pay a fee and then you go through, it's called Rush, so you get to meet the sororities and fraternities on the KSU campus and kind of get a feel for who you fit best with. So they'll have all that online. They will be posting it on the Panhellenic site as well, so if you go to Kennesaw State Panhellenic on Instagram, they will pull it up there and list all their requirements as well.
And we'll drop that link for you.
Yep,
too.
perfect.
Okay, I'm a student who is registered for orientation, but I know about a talent card. I need a talent card. What does it do for me, and how do I get one?
Yeah, let me answer that, because I was on a call with, Meredith was on the call as well, with housing and orientation, and so campus services, talking about the talent card. We're getting a lot of questions on Facebook, on Instagram Live, the orientation lives, about wanting that ID card. And I get it's so cool, right? Like, I still have, whether this is smart or not, I think it's more because I'm a pack rat than any other reason, but I still have my ID card from my undergrad. And even the picture's worn off, and so I can't even reminisce about how good or thin I was back then. You know, it's just something. It's like a rite of passage of sorts when you're in college. Now you have this form of identification that proves I'm in college, so it's really cool. You know, and we recognize students want that. Right. So campus services, the side of the university that runs housing and dining and the talent cards and the Talent One Center, amongst other things, they're working on a solution if we are not able to get your cards to you before the fall, before fall actually starts, and whether we have people living on campus or not living on campus, what does that look like, and why would you need a talent card if you're not on campus, things like that. But they're working on solutions to be able to get you the cards if you're going to be an on-campus student. Right. And that may be when you're coming for move-in, that you will have already had your picture taken in some way that is official and looks good and is not just, you know, Jordan taking a selfie like this, like, oh, you know,
here we go,
getting my best angle. That it's a picture that can be used to identify you, that's going to go on your card. You're going to upload it yourself, and then they're going to have the talent cards ready. So when you show up for move-in day, you're going to get your card that day and be able to get in your room and all of those kinds of things. So they're working on solutions to that. Campus Services is, and I'm sure you'll find out at orientation as we're going through. As that information is available, it will be shared with you at orientation. That's going to be the next big place that this information is shared.
So you just talked about move-in day. Do we have any update? Do we think move-in day will be on time? Will it be early or late? Any advice of where we should check for that information?
Always check your campus email address. So that's the big thing. No matter what we're talking about up here, right. Really the way you can think about it, admissions, the primary place we're going to email you is your personal email, your Gmail, your Yahoo. I don't know if people use Yahoo anymore. I have one. But you know, Hotmail, whatever, Netscape, whatever your email is.
Oh, geez, you're throwing it back.
What'd you say?
You're throwing it back.
Yeah, Netscape, yeah. Your AOL, right? My wife still has an AOL. So we're emailing you with the email that you applied to the university with. After admissions, orientation, financial aid, housing, parking, dining, everybody else, your major, your advisors, all sorts of people here inside the institution are going to email you to your Kennesaw email. So you need to be logging in and checking your Kennesaw email. You need to do it. Donald Coleman, I can hear his voice in my head. You need to be doing it daily, all right? So that's just a good thing, because you're going to do this in college. You're going to check it daily. You're going to do it when you get out and you get into the work environment, or if you go to grad school, whatever it is. You're going to be checking your email daily for the rest of your life. It's something that's not going to go away until we have something cool implanted in our eyes that just pops up in front of us, right? So we won't have to log in and check email anymore. But you need to get used to checking your Kennesaw email, because that's where all of these other places. So when your financial aid award, your package is ready, you're going to get an email about it. You're going to be encouraged to go log into AllExpress and look at it. So all of those kinds of things come through your Kennesaw email address. But that's where all this kind of official communication is going to go.
Right. Awesome. Okay, can we switch gears a little bit? and talk about a major on campus that's really popular, nursing.
Nursing.
Caroline, do you mind touching on nursing?
Yeah, absolutely.
And maybe some prereq courses that you would advise to take before applying to the nursing program?
Yeah, so nursing is one of our bigger programs, but it is gated. So it is not going to be something you'll roll into directly out of your freshman year or in your freshman year. So when you get to KSU, you'll be a nursing interest as an incoming freshman. I'll speak on them. And with that, you will take your courses like English 101, English 1102, things like that. But in order to get admitted to the nursing program, you're going to need to take things like chemistry, biology, human anatomy and physiology, those kinds of health-related courses. And you're going to take a certain amount of prereqs in order to then apply and take what's called the TEAS exam to be admitted into the nursing program. So they do have a GPA requirement and they do have a TEAS exam score requirement. So that is all listed on their website. They have phenomenal advisors that are on the Kennesaw campus as well and our Wellstar College of Health and Human Services building. So if you ever want to speak to someone, email, if you want to do a Skype, anything like that, they can kind of work on directing you in the right direction in terms of what classes you need to take, where you're standing, what scores you need, and things of that nature, as well as our transfer students. So transfer students, if you are coming in with courses outside of the university that relate to our biology, chemistry, human anatomy, and courses like that, talk to a transfer advisor about how your courses are coming over and how they relate.
Can I add to that as well?
Yeah.
Or did you want to add?
Yeah. I just wanted to touch on that. Two things that you said. If you really want a little bit of a preview of the classes that you're going to take, just Google Kennesaw State Academic Catalog, and you guys will be able to see the entire course listing of the classes that you're going to have to take while you're in the nursing program. And that's for every single program that you're going to see at Kennesaw State University. And for the transfer students, if you guys go to our admissions website and you go down to the transfer section, transfer.kennesaw.edu, you can click what transfers. You can put your school, the institution that you're attending right now, next to Kennesaw State University, and you can see all the courses that'll transfer over. So you can see, okay, is my course going to transfer over? Am I going to be able to transfer in the right way? And once again, speaking with an advisor is going to be the best way to do it, because that person is really a little bit of your gatekeeper to your academic success. If you're this close with your advisor, I promise you they're probably not going to lead you astray.
Right. And we have an incredible partnership with Wellstar.
Yep.
So Caroline mentioned Wellstar. It's the second largest hospital system in the state of Georgia. A lot of their hospitals are up here around our campuses. Matter of fact, my mother works, she's a Wellstar employee, works at Kennesaw. That's right down the road or up the road. Down the road from here, up the road from the Marietta campus. It's closer to Kiani when he's on the Marietta campus. But they've been incredible partners, and through a partnership with Wellstar, we are doubling the size of our nursing student body. Yep. So that's one of the goals. Wellstar needs more nurses, and we produce fantastic nurses. Every year we have it's either 100% pass rate or a 99% pass rate, but lately it's been 100% pass rate every time. We have fantastic nurses that are prepared to take their NCLEX. That is the licensure exam, prepared to get out there and work and be fantastic nurses. So Wellstar is investing in Kennesaw State University and doubling the size of our nursing student body. We're being able to add more nursing faculty, more space, and also giving scholarships to our nursing students. So it's an incredible time to come to Kennesaw and study nursing.
It is.
Indeed.
Okay, Kiani, I've got a great question for you.
Oh boy, here we go.
So we have a few alumni who are on here saying hooty hoo, but they want to come back to school. Give them a big hooty hoo.
Hooty hoo.
They want to come back to school. I know you were applying for your graduate degree. Can you talk about the process and maybe any documents that they might need from what you know?
Right. So if they're coming back to school, now it depends on what they're coming back to school for. If they're coming back for a graduate degree, I do advise you to speak with the graduate office. You might have done some post-baccalaureate work at another institution, and we're going to need those transcripts. They're going to need those transcripts to make that decision. But if you are an alumni from KSU, whether it's classic SPSU or if you're a Kennesaw State alum, it's all melded together now. We're all big Owl family. We're going to have your records on file. You would just have to submit an application. And now it depends on what you're trying to do. Are you trying to get another degree, or are you just trying to take some courses for enrichment? So you can apply as a non-degree seeking student. So that means I just want to take specific classes, but I'm not trying to get a new degree. or you can apply as a degree-seeking student still in the post-bac era because we have your information, and then you will make your degree progress in that way.
All right, thank you. Caroline, how do I send in my immunization forms?
Immunization. So depending on how you have them, typically you can just email your doctor and they can send us a copy. They'll know where to send it, or you can actually go to our website. They're going to have several stages of what you can do and how you can send them, especially now that you can't just bring them to us in person at this moment. Typically, Immunizations, VC at kennesaw.edu, they will take it from your doctor. They'll take a scanned copy, a PDF, anything like that. So we are working to get them as fast as we can from you guys and making it as easy as possible since we cannot bring you onto campus at this moment. So if you just go to the registrar's website or just Immunizations, Kennesaw State, pop it into Google, it'll pull up that direct link and it'll tell you exactly how you need to send them right now.
Great. And I have Nicole on here and Jacinta, and I think they're battling who's going to drop the link the fastest. So they've already dropped all those links that you said, so it's awesome.
And
Thanks,
just in
Nicole.
case, our favorite, Wendy, is on Facebook Live right now or coming on later. Have no fear, Wendy. Jacinta is here in the room. She's just behind the camera. So
You can chatter.
yeah.
Just chatter.
Yeah, you can just say, hey, Jacinta, you're better than Jordan, blah, 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 and whatever your question is. Yeah.
Great. Okay, Jordan, we've got a few questions about if classes are going to be held on campus, virtually, not virtually, for this fall and into fall 2021. Would you like to talk about that and maybe your crystal ball as well?
Yeah, I was trying to find my crystal ball. I was looking around for a minute.
I'll
see
roll
if
it to you.
See if I brought it. Yeah, roll
I just got
it,
a haircut,
please.
so you
I
can
let somebody borrow it. Yeah, so right now, we do not have anything official from the University System of Georgia whether or not we are going to have traditional in-person classes for fall 2020, right? So I know there's a lot of stuff going around with some of the what are called contingency plans from the University System of Georgia that all of the University System of Georgia schools like Kennesaw State have received these plans from the University System of Georgia, and then we were asked to develop our responses, how we would go about doing these things in these 4 different contingency plans, or well, 1 plan and 3 contingency plans. So for instance, I was on a call earlier today where we were talking about, KSU submitted a 160-page document with all of our different plans for this is what's going to happen if we're going to have traditional in-person classes this fall with social distancing, and all of the plans outlining how we would go about making sure our students on campus are as safe as possible, our faculty and staff on campus are as safe as possible, how we would have housing and dining, so on and so forth, student life, how they would be able to have student activities and things like that. So we've got that. We've got a contingency plan on it's not going to happen and fall is going to be 100% online. What does that look like, right? So responses, what we would be doing, and then so on and so forth. So really, again, I've said this before and I'm being a little more public about it, but I am really confident we are going to have traditional in-person classes, but that's not official, right? That's just Jordan thinking with his own mind. What does fall 2020, what could it look like? What should it look like? So as soon as we have the official response from the University System of Georgia telling us that this is what all of the 26 University System of Georgia schools are going to do, then one, I've said this on Instagram Live, I'm going to go live immediately on Instagram and say this is what's going on. But there will be an official statement from the university. There will be a public acknowledgement. You will have access to that information. So it'll be posted here on Facebook, no doubt. Yeah, nothing yet. So nothing's public yet about fall 2020 in terms of are we going to have traditional in-person classes. I will say this as well, because I think this comes up, and I like how plainly students put it. They're like, are we going to be in school this fall? So I love it. It's just so like, out there. Absolutely, we are going to have classes this fall. It's just what do those classes look like? So we want to make sure we're able to offer a KSU education, which is an extremely valuable education. We are in such an important part of Atlanta. We are in such an important place in history. to offer the types of degrees that we offer. We have over 150 degree programs at the institution between our 2 campuses and online, right? Our cybersecurity degree, as an example, our online degree, both undergrad and grad, booming, right? The interest in cybersecurity, that field is only growing and going to continue to grow. So we have a virtual campus as well, if you want to think about it like that. But we're positioned so well, not only physically, but from a cost standpoint, and from the majors that we offer and our strength, the strengths of our degrees, right? I mean, we've got 2 shining examples here on set today as well. And they're an absolute joy to work with. Thank you, Bev, for being good people. But good representatives of KSU. So all that being said, no matter what, we're going to have classes this fall. It's just, what is that actually going to look like? Looking to fall 2021, wow, now you're stretching me out there. I mean, fall 2020 and a crystal ball is enough. Nothing exists for fall 2021, so we have no idea not only what KSU is going to look like, but what the world's going to look like in fall 2021. I think we all hope that things are back to normal, right? And I'm not having to talk through plexiglass. I'm not having to constantly, although it's not a bad thing, right? You should always be washing your hands. I learned how to wash my hands from working at a grocery store. That's the best thing that grocery store ever taught me. So everything else stunk about that job. But washing my hands, I'm a pro at washing my hands. I just hope I don't have to use as much hand sanitizer, because we can't afford it, right? I'm really hopeful in fall 2021 I don't have to constantly be trying to find masks on Amazon, things like that. So that's what I'm hopeful for.
Great, thank you. I saw a mask design with the big KS in it, so maybe we could get those soon.
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yeah.
Talk to your boss.
Right. Awesome. Okay, so I have a question for the admissions counselors. I know that you've been researching different resources and departments on campus that students can be involved in or can help them through their classes. Can you talk about those and what type of virtual existence they have, and maybe some of the resources you used as a student that you would highly encourage an incoming freshman to use as well?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so I was a big, advocate for our math learning center on campus. Coming into school, you're gonna have to take a math class or 2, and depending on your major, you might take more than that. I was never a huge math person. I was not the best at it. So I did use our math study, I guess I'll call it our study department, but it is on campus. You do get to sit down with them, but right now they're gonna do everything virtually. So you can chat with like a teacher's assistant, a professor, or really just a student volunteer that wants to help you kind of tutor your way through your math courses. They'll help you communicate and get your homework done, get your problem solved, and things of that nature. Outside of academics, a lot of our clubs are trying to host online things. So there are some activities that we have on campus I've seen that are doing like online game nights and virtual trivia and things of that nature. So if you want to try to connect with a group, especially this summer while everything's online, then you do have that ability. Again, you can go to our student activities page. A lot of our Instagrams are going to cover what we're doing online. So if you know that there's a club you want to be a part of, just pop it into Google and put Instagram after it. It'll pull up their page. You can see members. You can see how they're handling everything being online and kind of things of that nature. But I think it just depends in terms of activities and groups, what you are looking for in your time here. If you're, come fall and you're on campus, we do have commuter rooms. So if you don't live on campus, you don't live near here, you don't want to drive back and forth, we do have places on campus that you guys can kind of hang out, get your work done, and just relax and kind of be on campus without, leaving every single time.
Right. I'll touch on a couple of other things. For her it was the math lab. For me, it was the writing center. I spent an absorbent amount of time in the writing center because my major was built on writing, editing, everything that you can kind of think of. So that was one student service that benefited me highly while I was in school, specifically for my major. But in terms of other student services, most people are wondering, depending whether or not there's, classes in the fall. Not classes in the fall, but on-campus classes in the fall. One is the student, rec and activities board, intramurals or, just a rec center period. I know right now in the rec center they're doing online coaching and online fitness activity for you guys. So that's something that is big for me, fitness, coming off of being a, college football player. Once life slows down, you're not used to running how you're supposed to and jumping how you're supposed to, and having people that are dedicated to help keep you healthy. You have access to dietitians and different things like that, which is pretty cool. So those are some that were super beneficial to me. But like Caroline said, a lot of those meetings that the student activity clubs and organizations are going to have, the ones that usually take place in person, they're going to move online. They're going to be group sessions, breakout sessions. They're going to do their best to support you guys in the best way possible. Also, be very specific about your needs. We have over 300 clubs and organizations, and that's aside from the student resources that are available to you to help you academically, but also as a person. So definitely go online, look at all those student activities, look at all those resources that are available to you.
Nice. There's one other thing I want to throw out as well. I know I wasn't asked the question, but it's please utilize our career planning and development services. So yes, you need the tutoring while you're here. And let me just say, even if you think you're a fantastic writer, like to be egotistical for a minute, I actually think I'm a good writer. So I still need help. I still need somebody else's eyes. The best feedback I've gotten is in my doctoral program from my peers and them looking over my writing, my advisor looking over my writing and saying, this is the direction you need to head in, you need to watch how you're wording these things. You need other people to evaluate your work. It's going to make you better, right? That's even what Kiani was talking about in terms of being in shape, exercising, nutrition. You need somebody else to be able to look at what you're doing to make sure you're doing it right? Doing it right for you. So career planning is there to help you from now as an applicant to the university all the way through your time at KSU and even as an alum. Yes. And they have so many resources on their website. They have an incredible Instagram page. And you definitely want to be working with them, whether it's utilizing Handshake, which is a great resource that students can utilize for jobs and internships. And just think, the current economy that we find ourselves in, where our economy has just been wrecked by COVID-19, including the entire world, right? Not just America, but the entire world. And we are coming to college, and you're going to really want to have a leg up on everybody else. Not that it should be like total competition against everybody in the world, right? But for you, you're going to college to better yourself, to become more educated, to become a free thinker, and to be able to get a job. Right? At the end of the day, it's still going to be about getting a job or preparing for grad school and then getting a job. So use career planning and development as a massive benefit to you being a student here at KSU. They have so many resources available to you. And now's a good time to start working on that resume writing if you haven't already, your cover letter writing to be prepared for job opportunities. So get to work. There you go.
Awesome, thank you. And just to follow up, Jordan, I always told my students to have a resume next to them when they apply for scholarships. So that's helpful too, even for next year or if you're applying for anything over the summer. Which
brings up Scholarship Universe. So I had an Instagram Live last week. We talk about Scholarship Universe all the time. I know it's like Scholarship Universe, very ethereal, like Scholarship Universe, the Milky Way, Scholarship Universe, whatever. Scholarship Universe, we've had a lot of questions lately, and a matter of fact, I didn't chastise her, but I had to say, what are you doing? Had to get on Keely, one of our tour guides last week, because she hadn't gone to Scholarship Universe and filled it out. Also, Stephanie, who is our Army ROTC person, whose nursing seems bright as can be, and I was like, hey, have you been there? And she's like, yeah, I've looked at it. I was like, oh my gosh, this is awesome. And then I said, did you fill it out? No. What? What are you doing?
¿Por qué?
Yeah, there you go. ¿Por qué? So anyways, Scholarship Universe, Meredith is talking about having your resume right there as you're applying for scholarships. So our big scholarship application for the university that opens November the 1st and closes on March the 1st, it did this year, that one's closed, obviously. Scholarship Universe is open. So go out there, fill out the Scholarship Universe application. This is for scholarships that are outside of the university. All right, so it's a good, trusted search engine for you that you can go out, you log in with your NetID and password, and you can fill it out. There you go, do it. Scholarship Universe, have your resume right there, and you'll be in really good shape.
Awesome, thank you. All right, Caroline, I'm going back to you. I have a question about registering for classes.
Okay.
Can I register for classes without submitting my immunization or my final transcript?
No. So, two-part question. So, if you are an incoming freshman and you do not have a final transcript yet, go ahead and get with your counselor. Most of your high schools should. But you can register without having a final high school transcript because you'll be what's called accepted pending. And that's pending your graduation date and things of that nature. Outside of that, when it comes to immunizations, we do put a hold on your account so that you have to submit those before you can register for courses. So once you submit those, that hold will be lifted. You'll be able to go into that AliExpress account that we talked about earlier, and you'll be able to kind of register the courses that you need. If you do the online orientation and you get hooked up with an advisor, anything like that, they can also help you register for courses, but they cannot lift a hold for immunizations. That is going to be lifted once you submit the immunizations. Outside of that, if you see on your AliExpress account that you have a lawful presence verification hold in red, that means we need to see your driver's license, valid passport, or birth certificate. We just need to verify that you're in the state of Georgia. We need to put that on file so we can also lift that hold on your account. It does take about 24 to 48 hours for holds to be lifted once you've submitted these documents, and then once that happens, you can start registering for your courses.
And Caroline, how can they submit their proof of lawful presence?
Yeah, so proof of lawful presence can be done online. You do not have to come into the office for that. It is going to be through our enrollment services page. The way I like to find it, the easiest way to me, if you Google lawful presence Kennesaw State, the first line that's going to come up, click that. It'll give you step-by-step instructions of how to submit it. You can scan your ID, passport, or anything that'll help you kind of prove that lawful presence, scan it, and then submit it online, and it'll go straight to your account.
Nice.
Caroline, you were talking about holds. What is a hold and what is it holding?
So we put holds on your accounts for various things. If you have an unpaid parking ticket, if you didn't submit your lawful presence, your immunizations, anything like that, really it just prevents you from registering for courses. If you do not take care of these holds, we don't lift them. They stay on until you submit the required documents or payments, anything of that nature. So if you have a hold on your account, you need to find out what it's for. They do take some time to get taken off. So if you submit your driver's license, it's not going to be lifted in that hour. It's going to take 24 to 48 hours. So if you're building that perfect schedule in your head and then you get on and you realize you can't register, then you hope that those classes are still going to be there in 24 to 48 hours. So make sure that you're paying attention to those. And if you see anything, just reach out either to admissions or registrars or financial aid. If it's a payment, then it's going to be bursars. Any office like that, we can kind of help you get that hold figured out.
And that registration hold is real fun, especially touching on those students that don't send us that final transcript. Guys, please, please, please send us that final transcript.
Yep.
You can register for your first semester, you can go through classes, but then you'll have that big old hold sitting there, and it's not going to be fun. Then you're going to be rushing because you have this great schedule set up. You need to send us that final transcript so that way we can finish your high school course record, make sure you're all done and situated, so that way you can go on and move on to the next semester of courses without any issues. So please, I know there's a lot going on right now. Please be in contact with your high school counselors. Talk to them. Make sure they're sending off your final high school transcript with your graduation date, so that way you're good to go and have no issues.
Keani, I feel like you're speaking from experience.
Oh, not at all.
No?
I'll send it right away.
I will say right now a lot of the high schools are already sending out your final transcript. So they've already determined where you're standing in your final semester. You probably graduate in now, maybe a couple days ago. So back if you requested it in like early May, your counselors have already put that date on there, but go in and double check that. Get in touch with your counselors and just make sure that you have everything on file.
Thank you. Keani, you talked about registering for classes. Can you tell me what AliExpress is and what you can do within AliExpress?
Oh man, AliExpress is like the Matrix. Not exactly. AliExpress is really cool. Make sure you guys, once you're accepted, your status check then turns into your brand new, spanking new. I don't know how many people will remember Digimon from back in the day, but it digivolves into your AliExpress, which I think is pretty cool. That is your way to register for classes. That's your way to getting an advising appointment. That's your way to decide what meal plan that you want to get. That's the way that you can see your degree progress through degree works. If you're a transfer freshman or a transfer student coming in with some college credit, you can see how pieces into your major. It is just the ultimate tool for how you're going to be a student here at KSU. So that's where you see your financial aid award. So I can't speak on how important the Owl Express account is, because it's pivotal to what you're going to be doing as a student. It's how you move, it's kind of how you shake, it's how you get to the next step until you graduate. So it's super important. I still go on my Owl Express today. I was finishing my grad school applications, and I had to go through Owl Express to send my transcripts off to my grad school application. So I even need it now that I'm graduated.
Fantastic. Thank you. Did you say you could vote for SGA president and homecoming king and queen through that too?
You can. So they'll give you those links. It's cool. I've done it before. Definitely, once you guys get on campus, get involved with SGA. They do a lot of important things that you guys might not think. They help figure out who's coming for homecoming. They listen to your issues that you might have. Every single academic college has a representative for SGA that you can get in contact with, and you can have a conversation with them about something that you feel like needs to improve in your academic college. So get involved, because they help move things along on campus when it comes to the student experience.
Thank you so much. We have a few questions about how we evaluate transcripts. Can you talk through the 17 classes that we look for? If we were questioning if we should take a certain maybe science class, where should we look for that? And if I have to repeat a course, so maybe if I took the first math and I didn't do well, so I need to take it again, does that affect my acceptance into the school?
So transfer process, when it comes to transferring in, like Kiani spoke about earlier, we do have that evaluation portal, so you can actually go to our transfer page and find the tab that says what transfers. From there, you'll be able to kind of, I call it plug and chug. So you put in your state, your school, and then you select all majors, and then you hit go, and it's going to pull up on the left side all the classes at your institution that you're currently at, and all the classes at KSU, and the way that they'll transfer to each other. So on occasion, you'll see that when you're transferring in, if you are taking either like a Math 99 or an English 99, anything that is going to be deemed like a remedial course or like a learning support course, we do not take those as a transfer credit. But if you're taking things like Math 1111, Math 1101, any college level algebra or college level math that's not a 99, we will typically take those depending on where you're transferring from. Outside of the admissions office, there is an office that's called Gates, and we send your transcripts over to them, and they do a full evaluation of every single credit that you have on there. And it does take about 2 to 3 weeks, depending on the time that you sent that transcript, depending on if you sent it during a high period, that we go into all of your credits, see how they're going to transfer. If they didn't transfer on the front end, can they transfer on the back end, and things like that. So I myself use that. I was a transfer student back in the day from Mississippi State, and I used my organic chem and my plant science classes to see how I could get them to transfer to KSU and what they would be equivalent to when I got here. So it is really helpful to get in touch with a transfer counselor as well. And again, you can do, if you go Kennesaw State Admissions, meet the staff, you'll see all of our counselors that we have in the office, whether you're a dual enrollment student, a transfer student, or a freshman, or anything outside of that, then you can get in touch with one of us, and we'll be able to kind of work through that process with you and explain the different steps.
Yeah, and Caroline brings up a good point. We are accessible for you right now, even in this world where we're not seeing each other face to face so much and our offices aren't open yet. So if you need an appointment, if you want to talk to an admissions counselor, you can reach out to us right there on the website, and we will set up a one-on-one virtual appointment with you. We can call you, we can video chat, just whatever is going to work best for you right now. And then another thing I want to touch on is if you're not a transfer student, if you're an incoming freshman and you're in high school, those 17 courses that Meredith mentioned is part of what the University System of Georgia calls staying on course. And those 17 courses count towards your college preparatory degree, so your diploma, your college preparatory diploma from high school. So we're looking at your 5 core subject areas for admission. That's your math, science, social science, foreign language, and English. And we're going to take the 17 credits that you need to complete the college preparatory diploma, as well as be admissible to a University System of Georgia school, and we're going to evaluate your GPA. We call it our KSU admission GPA. It is different than your high school GPA. It's different than your Hope GPA. It's different than your overall GPA. So we're just looking at those core academic courses to determine your admissibility. That means we're not going to look at your PE or your football or your weightlifting or your as I took drafting courses when I was in high school. Those wouldn't count as part of my academic GPA calculation. So once we've calculated your KSU GPA, that is your admissions GPA. Meredith mentioned if you repeat a course in high school. So we're going to still take your both courses. So let's say, because just like with Caroline was talking about, I wasn't so good with math. I tried my best to just get through math. If I had to take, let's say, college algebra twice, right? And the first time I take it, I make a D, which I never did. So if my mom's out there, by the way, happy birthday, Mom. It's my mom's birthday,
Hey.
June the 1st. It's a good day. Happy birthday, Mom. She's not watching, but it doesn't matter. Happy birthday. Somebody out there knows my mom. So if I were taking college algebra and I made a D, and then I retook it in high school and I made a B, we are going to look at both the B and the D, right? Because that's academic credit. Now it averages out, and what is that? Oh, C. So, that's okay. But it's going to be part of your GPA evaluation. So keep that in mind.
So speaking of evaluating, if I'm a homeschool student, is there something different I'm supposed to submit?
Everything different, yes.
Homeschool.
I need proof of, no, I'm just kidding. What we need is something called a homeschool portfolio. And let's clarify what it means to be a home-educated student. There's really there's a lot of types really, but I can boil it down into two types of home-educated students. One type of home-educated student attends an accredited home education program, almost like a private school. My siblings went to a home-educated consortium where they were going to school 2 days a week. The rest of it was done at home. That was part of their educational environment. So for schools like that, we need to see the actual transcript from the home educated consortium or something like that, right? Whatever the name is of what you're doing. A lot of times it just looks like a private school, but you're really a home educated student. So that's that side where you can apply and actually turn in a transcript from that institution or from what you're doing. The other side are what I call pure homeschoolers. You are home educating your student. You are the main delivery of the education, you being the family, and you need to apply to KSU with a homeschool portfolio. We have the portfolio guidelines on our website. It's on the admissions website. It's a PDF. You simply fill it out. You add in all the supporting documentation. I like to talk about the homeschool portfolio because I think for home-educated families, you're already geared up to be concerned about this. You've heard from all of your friends that this is going to be a big ordeal for college. It's really not. We're just asking you to compile the documents showing what your student did in their home education program, and you're filling out our portfolio, and then you're turning it in. I've seen great homeschool portfolios that were 12 to 15 pages long, not a very big packet, and then I've seen some that were brought to us in a box. Don't bring us the box one. We honestly, 150, 175 page homeschool portfolio is not necessary to apply to KSU, whether you're applying as a dual enrollment student or you're applying for admission as a degree seeking student. We just want to see that 12 to 15 page homeschool portfolio. That is going to suffice for you. So keep that in mind. We do also require letters of recommendation. That's part of the homeschool portfolio process. There's an extracurricular activities guide that you need to provide for us as well. This is all part of that portfolio. So if you just go to our website, we've got it linked right there, and you can walk through the portfolio process. If you need help, we're here to help you as well.
Thank you. We've got just a few minutes left, so Kiani, I need a pretty quick answer here. If I am having trouble sending my transcript through Georgia Futures, what other way can I send my transcript?
Okay, so I'll try to make that quick. So, cool thing about Georgia Futures, when you make a what's the word called? A request to have your transcript sent off, it's actually sending a message to your high school counselor to have your high school transcript sent to us. If you're having trouble with Georgia Futures, it's acting up, it's bugging, talk to your high school counselor. We can accept that your transcript via email. It has to come from your counselor. There needs to be a school email from your counselor with their signature on it, stating whose transcript it is so that way we can send it. If you can go on the Meet the Staff page, like Caroline was talking about, and you can send it to either one of us and we'll get it into your file.
Perfect. Cool. Well, we are here at the end of our time. Any final words you want to share with the people out in Facebook land?
If you have questions, need help, need anything at all, just email us. Reach out to us on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, wherever you need to. Again, that Meet the Staff page, you can find any one of us as well as other counselors, and we'll do what we can to help you guys. We know it's hard, but virtually we're here for you, so we can do what we need to get your applications or questions taken care of.
All right. Stay safe out there.
That's a good one. That's a good one. Mine will be apply, please. Yep. So today's the deadline, all right? If you haven't applied and you're out there, or you know your grandson hasn't applied and is just twiddling his thumbs, you know, whatever you're doing out there,
get on them, Grandma.
Please, please, please apply to the university. It closes tonight. So I promise it'll be open through midnight, but after that I can't make any promises. This is for summer 2020, fall 2020. If you're a transfer student, you have until June the 12th to apply. So keep those things in mind. And then last thing, I think we have a special, the cutest absolute guest here in studio today. Finn, will you come up and help us say hooty hoo and say bye-bye to everybody? Hurry, and bring your pom-poms. Where are your pom-poms?
Come on.
See, now we've talked about you, so you absolutely have to come on camera. She's coming, I hear her giggling.
Come here.
Go to your mama. All right, this is Finn. She's awesome, and I would dare say she's our biggest cheerleader. Would you say that, Finn?
You want to say hooty
Biggest
hoo?
cheerleader? All right,
Hey.
That's it for us. Hooty hoo, folks. Y'all have a good one.
Hooty hoo!